The old-fashioned keyboard. So the so let's start with one of the problems that we have. We're looking at what do we do to promote good health, healthy eating, and vibrant health is the theme of our entire program. So what we are looking at is one of the 68% of adults are overweight or obese. More than 1/3 of adults, 35%, are obese. It raises what's so bad about obesity? It raises the risk for so many other issues and disorders in our body. So including diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. So we want to get to some of the core issues, and that's what Dr. Andre is going to be talking about next month. The core cause of things. And then it's one of the leading cause of preventable, the key word is preventable, death in the United States. So we all have friends and families, and we know how we don't want to see them suffer. We don't want to see ourselves suffer. Our kids don't want to see us suffer. So let's try to prevent some of the things that we have some control over. Okay, so now we have a handout, so you can follow us along. All of these slides, most of these slides are in your handout. They may not be in the same order, but leaf through them so you can make notes on them. We've all strolled through Kmart and Walmart, and sometimes I have to squeeze to get through that line at the pharmacy to get over to what I need to get, because people are lined up at the pharmacy getting all kinds of meds. And we're fortunate that we're at the age that most of us are, and we don't have to prescribe to medication, that we can just rely on what God has given us to do. And I want to look at that first slide in your handout, and it says, and I apologize for the copies not being in color. We have to get with the print department and find out, because we want to see the green, the beautiful green. You see it up here. But so let's look at the green. Chlorophyll is a key word in what we're talking about today. But let's see why chlorophyll is so important. If everyone is on page 2 with me, this should be a very beautiful green tree, but we'll pretend that it is. It says, and we're looking at Genesis 1:29 through 30, and it says, "Then God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. It shall be food for you, and to every beast on the earth, and in every bird of the sky, and to everything that moves on the earth, which has life, I have given every green plant for food." And so it was so. This is Genesis 1:29. So from the beginning, God laid it out for us in terms of what we should eat and what we should have, and his design for this body that he created. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. Okay, so the food pyramid is on the next page, page 3. So we've all seen we used to have the the form that the USDA gave us, and then we went to the My Plate, and now we want you to look at the raw food pyramid, because this is what we want to subscribe to. This is how we want to eat. We know that water is important. It's the most predominant of the pyramid, because our bodies are made up of about 70% water. And guess what? The earth is covered with about 70% water. You think is that by design, or is that just happenstance? We know that God designed it that way. So we want to keep a lot of water, fresh water, in our bodies through the fruits we eat and the vegetables that are filled with water. So the next big category on the food pyramid, we have green leafy vegetables. And all the vegetables are good, but the green leafy vegetables are amazing because they're at the top of the vegetable pyramid. They have the most nutrients, and they're the ones that we want to eat. The kale and the collard greens and the cabbage and all of those beautiful green things that we want to make sure we're eating. And then the next level of the food pyramid, fruits and vegetables. We're looking at the root fruits, the pineapples, the bananas, the grapes, and all those beautiful, the tomatoes, anything that's seeded is considered a fruit. So we want to make sure we have that in our diet. And then the next level, sprouts and legumes. And the beans. We want to eat a lot of beans. And why do we want to eat a lot of sprouts? Because sprouts contain anywhere from 5 to 25 times more nutrition than their mature counterparts. So you want to eat a lot of sprouts. You can grow them in your windowsill, and we have places where you can pick them up. I pick them up on the corner of Warren and Jefferson once a week. Julie Coning brings fresh sprouts, pea sprouts, and the sunflower sprouts. And then nuts and seeds filled with proteins and amino acids. People are always asking, well, where do vegans get their protein? You know, I can't recall how many times we were asked that question. Proteins are everywhere. Did you know that there is more protein in a serving of broccoli than there is in a hamburger? If you don't believe it, check it out. I know some of you are Googling right now. So you want to make sure that you get your proteins from the seeds and the nuts. And you do want to make sure you soak them. Why do you want to soak them? Because by soaking them, you cause them to germinate. You wouldn't put seeds in the ground and expect your corn to grow or your tomatoes to grow or whatever, because they have to first germinate. They'll sit there until a big rain comes by, and that causes them to germinate. And when they germinate, they come out of those little ovules, and they're ready to reproduce. So you want to make sure you soak your seeds and nuts before you eat them, to make them more digestible, and to make the enzymes and the amino acids and the protein more digestible to your body. And then we have the herbs and the medicinal foods, the microgreens, the juicing, and the green smoothies that you're drinking now. So you want to make sure herbs are filled with all kinds of nutrition. I'm blessed to have an herb garden at my church, Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church, and I've been doing that with a team of people for about 20 years now. Sunday, on the way out of church, I went by and pulled some oregano, and a few herbs are still hanging in there. They're very sturdy. And not only that, but they'll be back next spring because they are perennials. So we even have some greens still out there. I picked some greens, some collard greens, and a few other greens out of the garden Sunday because they were resistant and they grow for a very long time. Evelyn is one of my partner with the gardener. She's there every time. We work together in that beautiful Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church garden and herb garden. So, and then other what we call superfoods, seaweed. You can find a good. I know at the airport there is a restaurant that sells seaweed, and many of the Middle Eastern, some of the Middle Eastern ones do. But seaweed is amazing, filled with all kinds of nutrition and nutritional yeast. You can get it at any of the health food stores, and I keep it on the table and just sprinkle it over everything. It tastes so good. It's the vegan's answer to cheese. If you want a cheesy, you don't have to miss anything by being vegan. You just sprinkle it on top of your food and along with some of the seeds, and it will be so delicious. So that's the food pyramid, and we want you to put this on your refrigerator so when you reach in there, you'll know exactly what you're supposed to be pulling out. Okay, so
I have a question.
yes.
What is microgreens?
They're just the smaller things that, the smaller version of the green, when they're just sprouting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the next page on your handout. Let me advance this.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, for that slide, is that the higher the copper, more nutrition? Or I saw you have the term for the food.
Yeah, it represents the amount, percentage that you should be putting in your diet. In other words, you should be doing a lot of water and a lot of greens.
Oh.
So the hierarchy is based on the percentages that you should be eating.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have, so people say, and I have a walking buddy in here, I'm not gonna call her name, but she says, well, I'm coming, but I'm not thinking about going vegan.
That's me.
That's Mary. We're not trying to, we don't have a conversion thing going on here. We are following the science. And you can take it from there. How's that? So we are looking at, hey Riola, how are you? We're looking at, these are 7 benefits why being vegan could be helpful to you. So number 1, healthy weight loss. And we all, most of you in here don't have that issue because you're in the know and you are following. You've been upstairs working in the gym, and that's practically free. And I know you're coming, and if you're not a member, I know you're going to join. So, or bring a friend. It decreases the risk of diabetes. When we see our friends and our relatives suffering who are diabetic, it's one of the easiest disorders to cure, simply by changing your diet. If you don't believe it, there's a video on the Heal Thyself website called Simply Raw. That follows 7 people to Dr. Gabriel's health retreat out in Arizona and help them, all of whom are diabetic, help them, put them on a raw food diet for 30 days. And most of them who stuck with the program were able to succumb and get rid of diabetes. One of the easiest things to get rid of by simply, if provided it's not been around too long, is by following a raw food diet. So look at Simply Raw.
You mean type 2 diabetes?
Type 2 diabetes, yes. Thank you for the clarification. So number 3, heart health. We want to keep a good heart, a good, strong heart. My walking buddy and I try and do about 7 miles a week. we're now getting ready to do 10 miles because we want to try out that new path that they just opened up on the Riverwalk. We're blessed with this beautiful river here in Detroit. So 10 miles, and I can't believe the difference. At first I was doing 3, and when I started working with her, she said, "Come on, girl, you can do better than that." And we walked from my place down here, the riverfront, all the way past the Renson. Then we decided to go to the Rattlesnake Club, and now we're going to do the rest of the Riverwalk that just opened up. And since I've been doing this 7 miles for the past, I would say 6 or 7 weeks, I can't tell you the improvement in my body's performance.
You put 7 miles a day?
Say it again.
7 miles a day?
7 miles in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes about 2 hours. And I'm only doing it once a week because I play tennis on Wednesdays, and I play on Fridays. How old am I, Viola? You better not tell her.
I do 2 miles, I cannot breathe.
But you have to work up to it. You have to work up to it. And when I first started it, I was dragging back. But then, as I continued, I would come back and I was ready to do cartwheels around the block. So you can build up your stamina. And not only did I feel better, but I was having trouble, getting up on a stool, getting something from the top shelf. Now I just jump up there and go. It's amazing how just increasing the amount of time I walk has just increased all levels of performance of my body. I feel better, I think better, I sleep better. And it's amazing how just walking more, just that one thing can make a difference. So if you've been walking a mile or 2 or 3, increase it and go from there. So it decreases the cancer risk. When have we heard about so many people having cancer? We know that it's the environmental issues that are going on. What they're putting in our foods and what they're doing to our foods and pasteurizing everything and radiating everything. Decrease arthritis. People, can you hear people saying, I've got this arthritis in my knee. Start walking. Start eating a plant-based diet. Start drinking these green smoothies. It improves your kidney function. And it decreases. This is huge, isn't it? I've talked to some of my relatives from Charleston, South Carolina, and they said, everybody's got it all done. Not everybody, but it's like, how's so-and-so? Oh, I guess she's okay. Come on, folks. We don't have to allow ourselves to be subjected to these things. And we simply, and I say simply raw, but there are many ways of doing it, but we have to make the change. We have to do better. It's up to us. So, so we want to make sure that, so what's so great about green smoothies, folks? Ever since I learned about it, I guess about 30 years ago, I've been drinking a green smoothie or 2 every day. I don't listen. If I don't do it, I'm simply off. Don't feel right. On page 9 of your handout, some healing properties of green smoothies are filled with chlorophyll. And people say, I drink smoothies every day. Bananas, strawberries, pineapples. Yeah, and those are good. And they're high in enzymes. But we talked about the green, the chlorophyll. That is the key thing. That's the operative word here. Chlorophyll. So some of the healing properties of chlorophyll, look at those. Increase blood count, helps prevent cancer, makes the body more alkaline, counteracts ingested toxins, helps with anemia, cleans the liver, improves milk production, helps sores heal, gets rid of bad breath, soothes a sore throat, improves varicose vein, improves vision, relieves hemorrhoids. Green, and they're so delicious.
And it tastes
They are,
good.
and it tastes good. It tastes delicious.
And they're easy to make.
And they're easy to make. So if you enjoy 2 green smoothies a day, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or between meals, your body will thank you.
How
You-
you made it?
Say it again.
How I can make it?
Oh, check me out after, and I'll tell you how to make it. I think we might have something in this packet about that. So, yes, go ahead.
If you can get you a package of mixed fruits, and then add you some greens to it, like spinach or kale, and you will still get the benefits of the green, because you add green to it. And like when I make mine, sometimes you know I'm tempted to eat it like that because it tastes good like that. Then I say I need the green, so I throw the green over in there. It turned green and it tastes good. So
Wow.
that's one easy way you can do it.
And places like Meijer and Costco and a lot of the grocery stores, all you do is go in, open up the frozen food section, and pull out the little pack. They have it all there for you, the little kit.
Wow.
Take it home and put it in your blender. And I hope, it'll encourage you to get a Vitamix. I mean, because these other blenders don't do it justice. I mean, they will blend, but they don't blend like the Vitamix is the Cadillac of blenders.
Yeah.
You've got to have one if you're serious about this business. Yes.
Is there a green hot drink that's good for you? Something.
Okay, you want to answer that? Go ahead.
Well, yes, and it's an easy one too. And always when you making drinks, try and get organic, because it's going in at the cellular level, getting in your bloodstream. You don't want any toxic anything get in there. So you can just use regular organic romaine, put you some water in there, and drink that. And that's a green, that's a quick one.
Romaine
But-
lettuce.
Huh?
Romaine lettuce.
Yeah, romaine lettuce, organic romaine lettuce. And you can put like about 2 cups of water to maybe 3-4 leaves of romaine. And it doesn't taste bad. And it's good for you. It's close to a blood transfusion. It cleans you as well. Detox. That's an easy one.
But you have your herbs.
Mozell might have some more.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Not to get too far off track, but I try to buy my greens organic. Do you consider that to be important?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
We have one of our colleagues, Dr. Paul Nissan, he feels that you should eat everything organic. And why? Because so many pollutants and so many chemicals and pesticides have been added to the fruits and vegetables as they grow. So it's worth it to pay a few cents more for organic. You come out better. And there are certain things like avocados or bananas with thick peelings that you don't necessarily have to go that route. But anything that's thin, and I bought some organic apples at Costco the other day. But they had that waxy.
Yeah.
I said, what's that all about? Come on, Costco. And so I had to peel it, because the skin, most of the nutrition is in the skin, and you want to be able to eat the skin of the apple. So it's amazing what they do to our foods, and you have to be watchful. Don't go in the grocery store just for a quick. I spend hours there, because you have to read. You shouldn't be reading labels anyway, but if you do, you need to make sure that you're not buying the stuff that's going to harm you in the long run. Okay, so what's so great about chlorophyll? Let's look at this molecule for a second. I'm a chemistry biology major, so I like molecular structures. And so hemoglobin and chlorophyll. Hemoglobin and chlorophyll have similar structures, number one. At the center of the chlorophyll molecule is magnesium. At the center of the hemoglobin molecule is iron. So you think that's by happenstance, or you think God planned that? So the primary function of hemoglobin is to transport oxygen from the lungs to other parts of the body. Hemoglobin is composed of 4 elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. All 4 are organized around the iron, and in chlorophyll, organized around magnesium. In sickle cell anemia, the abnormal hemoglobin sticks together, and we know about that. Chlorophyll helps to do the job of hemoglobin when ingested. So I know when I was working with ladies who were recovering from substance abuse, and a team of us would go over there at Positive Image and make green smoothies for them once a week. And when they would drink that green smoothie, they would say, "This is what my body needs." When you're drinking that chlorophyll, then you know that, just turn it on. You know that it's healing your body. You can feel the healing properties going through and healing your body. So
It energizes you.
say it again.
It energizes you.
Yes, it gives you all the energy you need, and it's almost like a blood transfusion.
Mhm.
So when you drink the chlorophyll that's in the green stuff, it is refreshing the blood in your body, and it's making you feel better. So drink your green smoothies and drink your chlorophyll, and keep in mind that this was by design, that it refurbishes the blood, it's healing, and it transforms your body. Okay, so we're ready now for, now we know why the green smoothies. So whenever we have a gathering, we always have some green smoothies going. And even if some of you just come for the green smoothies and the salad, that's fine, we love it.
How many we have to take the green every day? How many gram and a day is what? How many? How many? Low iron. How much will help me to use? Because I do iron every week.
Okay.
How many
Okay.
grams will?
Yeah, and I can't tell you that right offhand, but we may have some nurses in who might be able, or afterwards we can discuss it more. But we do know that you start off low, slow, and I remember when I first started, I was doing 60% fruits and 40% greens. Now I'm doing maybe 20% fruits and 80% greens. So as your body acclimates, you can do more and more of the chlorophyll, and you'll be able to tolerate it more so. Okay, so now we know why hemoglobin and chlorophyll are so closely aligned to each other, and why the green in the green smoothie is so very helpful to you. Okay, so let's go to another topic, exercise. So most of you are here at the gym because you probably like the gym, and you probably are members already, but we know that it's important to exercise. Exercise is important. I know that Don was here every time I come, I see him. He and his wife Pam, they are. So exercise strengthens the brain. So it's real important that we exercise. And we've all heard of the study called the Blue Zone, done by National Geographic. And they identify why the people, 7 blue zones around the world, and why they live to be 100. They live to be centenarians. And there are about 7 different reasons why. And of course, one of them is exercise. They didn't have the gym, and they didn't have the lifting the big heavy weights, but they walked and they gardened. Yes. And they did hills.
Yes, up and down the hill.
Up and down the hills. So they're constantly moving. And even if you are in your apartment or home or whatever most of the day, I just walk from the living room to the kitchen. And I just forget something and go back. Keep walking and keep going. I mean, there's no excuse. You can just keep moving. You can walk up the steps and you can keep doing it. So keep moving. But garden if you can. Plant it in your window if you don't have a place for a garden. And there's nothing wrong with the mechanical exercises, but it's even better if you can get out there with some fresh air and walk the river and just breathe deeply and move around. So exercise is so important, and you got to keep it moving. Otherwise, if you don't use it, what they say, you lose it, and that's so true. So walking, we talked about walking. Walking, one of the easiest ways to exercise. It helps burn calories, it increases metabolism, it helps you manage your weight, it controls your blood pressure, it helps your heart, and more. And of course, it's better when you do it with a loved one or with a friend. So make sure that you get I call it an accountability buddy. Okay, so exercise strengthens the brain. That's the master control. We want to make sure that master control is working, right? Right. Because when we call up there and say, "Master control, are you working today?" We want to make sure that is the case. So sleep. Let's go to another topic, sleep. Sleep is so very important. I think there's a 3-page article in your handout on sleep. Okay, sleep. For a chance to dream. And you got to sleep. I mean, I was up this morning at 4 o'clock. I went to sleep at 10, and I hardly deviate. I usually get up at 5. But get yourself on a schedule and do it every day that you can. And try not to eat 3 hours prior to going to bed and sleeping. So sleep is so very important. Sleep allows us to, let's look on page 16. Let's run through what sleep does for us. Sleep can boost your immune system. And heaven knows we want to keep our immune system boosted. That's what keeps us from getting COVID. That's why everybody will be around you with masks on. You see, nobody in this room has on a mask because what? They have a great immune system. So you want to make sure that you're doing the things that will keep your immune system strong, and that's what sleep will do for you. Your body needs time to refurbish, to regroup. You got to have some good sound REM sleep. The second one is it prevents weight gain. Isn't that interesting? Because when you're up and you can't sleep, you run to the kitchen, you run to the refrigerator. You want to make sure that you're not eating in that time that you're supposed to be sleeping. So it can help you prevent weight gain. And there's some good reasons for that too, in terms of the different hormones that our bodies replenish and restore while we are sleeping. Sleep can strengthen your heart. Heart conditions, high blood pressure, heart attacks. Sleep can cause your body to release cortisol, a stress hormone that triggers your heart to work harder. Just like your immune system, your heart needs rest in order to function powerfully and properly. Just another reason for heart sleep. So you've got to sleep, you've got to rest. When people are not sleeping, chances are all kinds of things can happen. You can get into car accidents. You're moody. You just can't function properly, and you just can't. You have to sleep, and you want to get anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Okay, so better sleep, better mood. You heard the term, oh, she woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. So you want to make sure you get your rest so you will wake up in a good mood and you feel refreshed and you feel ready for the new day and that you have done your body a good deed by getting it the rest it needs. Number 5, it can increase productivity. You're more productive when you slept. When you drag out and you haven't had the proper rest, you can't remember what you're supposed to do, you can't organize, you can't orchestrate, you shouldn't be behind the wheel. You want to make sure that you're doing the right things. And then the lack of sleep can literally be dangerous. And we all have seen many examples of that. You know, we see these big trucks and truck drivers, we are hoping that they've had a good night rest. Sleep can increase exercise performance. When you're deprived from sleep, you can't exercise properly. Basketball players, football players, you can't function. You can exercise properly if you haven't had the right amount of sleep. It helps with the eye coordination, reaction time, muscle recovery, and so depriving yourself of sleep can have a negative impact on your power and your strength of performance in exercise. So you want to make sure you do that. And this is a good one, number 8. Sleep improves memory. You know, you don't want to have memory fog, and you can't remember, and you can't remember. We all, walk to the back and can't remember what we went there for, but we want to get sleep so we can function properly on our jobs, when we're exercising, when we're interacting with each other. We want to make sure that we're getting the proper exercise, the proper sleep. So consistent sleep of 7 hours a night is what's recommended. And to be on task, to be functional, and to be alert all day long, according to the experts. We know we have ebbs and flows at times when we just can't get it all in, but we do it on a pretty regular basis. We know that we want to create a routine. You want to do the same thing. At 7 o'clock, you start winding down. At 8 o'clock, you turn off the phone and put it out of. You don't want the blue light from the phone and the electronics. Put it out of the room, because those blue lights can have a negative effect on your sleep, on your hormone production. And so by the time you get to bed to sleep, you're ready to go to sleep. And then create that nighttime routine. And don't deviate unless there's a reason why you must. And your body will begin to function. And you begin to wake up at 5 in the morning, or 6 in the morning, which, according to the experts, the best time to sleep would be between 10 and 5, based on the circadian rhythms and the way the universe flows, if we can. So try to do that. Okay, so that takes us through some of the important things. We have about 5 other things that we want to share with you in the spring. We're going to do another strategy for supporting vibrant health, and we'll do the other half of it in the spring session. We've got a beautiful spring session lined up for you that Pam and I are working on, and you're gonna love it. We're gonna have all kinds of things, and then we have the essential oils coming up. We don't have that. We'll have that in the spring, right?
Right.